This is a CBS2 News update. I'm Chris Wragge. Good afternoon. A terrifying attack in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, as danger comes knocking on a woman's door. Police say this is the suspect who came up to a 37-year-old woman's door asking for someone named Jeffrey. The woman says when she answered, the suspect forced his way in, pushed her into a bedroom, and threatened her with a knife and claimed to have had in his bag. Now, she punched the man, fought with him to get away. When she hit the back of her head on a door, police say the suspect then ran away. New video shows several young men police want to identify related to a fatal stabbing of a teenager in the Belmont section of the Bronx. On Wednesday, a 15-year-old boy was stabbed in the neck on East 183rd Street following a dispute. He was later pronounced dead at St. Barnabas Hospital. The suspects fled the area. The stabbing happened shortly before midnight. A woman says a piece of ceiling that fell on her in a Brooklyn subway station could have killed someone, and she's speaking exclusively to us, hoping something finally gets done. Here's CBS 2's Allie Bauman.
Ceiling, plaster, and bricks piled on the Borough Hall subway platform Thursday after part of the underground ceiling collapsed around 3:30 p.m.
I start feeling stuff hitting the back of my head and my shoulders. And then all of a sudden it's over.
27-year-old Molly Scott was waiting for the 5 train. Now she has a concussion. Police say she was hit by a 10-by-10 piece of plaster. Scott believes this lighting fixture shielded her from worse.
If I had been in a slightly different location, I might not be talking to you.
Scott, who just graduated from Yale with a PhD in molecular biology last month, says she knew the subways were in disrepair, but
they're in bad shape. But because you're so used to seeing it, I think that you don't realize, oh, you know, it might fall on my head.
She considers herself lucky, but wants to know how this could even happen.
What bothers me is that, like, some little kid could be going to school tomorrow and some ceiling could drop on their head and they could die.
Scott says she isn't looking for anyone's pity and she doesn't plan to file any lawsuits, but she does want this to be a wake-up call for lawmakers and the MTA.
To me, it screams we have to invest some money in this. It's going to be real money and it's going to be painful, but it has to happen.
Scott hopes subway repairs are made before anyone else gets hurt. From the Borough Hall station in Brooklyn, Allie Bauman, CBS 2 News.
Well, 3 National Grid workers were rushed to the hospital after a fiery manhole explosion in Williamsburg, Brooklyn overnight. They were fixing a gas leak near South 2nd Street and Union Avenue when it exploded.
I told I have a 3-year-old, so it was kind of scary. I seen the aftermath. It was high, like 10 feet, 15 feet in the air. And then I basically saw the aftermath. I saw it, and then it went out. And it was bad. It was scary.
1 worker suffered serious burns. The other 2 have minor injuries. An update this morning on a story we first brought you last month. Victory for a New Jersey couple that's been fighting to install wheelchair ramps for their disabled son. 15-year-old Ethan Roman, who has cerebral palsy, will finally get his ramps at his Conforti Avenue home in West Orange. Since 2016, his parents have been fighting the zoning board and a neighbor to create front and back exits from the house to the street. The board previously said the ramps would encroach on the required front and side setbacks. Well, last night, the zoning board did an about-face and voted in favor of the ramps for that young man. Well, this morning, pressure is mounting to reunite migrant children with their parents at the U.S.-Mexico border. Republican efforts to overhaul immigration laws have so far failed. Speaker Paul Ryan has delayed a vote on a compromise bill until next week, and President Trump tweeted that Congress should, quote, stop wasting their time until November in hopes that they'll have more Republican votes. The Trump administration says 500 of the 2,300 separated since May have been reunited. The Pentagon is examining the possibility of housing up to 20,000 migrants on military bases. Well, reality TV star Joe Giudice is denying reports that he's being deported as he serves time in federal prison. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star is serving a 41-month sentence for numerous fraud charges, and he's scheduled to be released in March of 2019. The Daily News reports that ICE has confirmed that Giudice is in removal proceedings from the U.S. back to his native Italy. Giudice was born in Italy and moved to the U.S. as a child but never became a citizen. His wife, Teresa, served her own prison sentence back in 2015. Well, landmarks across New York will throw on their rainbow lights this weekend in honor of Pride. The Empire State Building, the spire of One World Trade, and the Mario Cuomo Bridge will be lit in honor of Pride Week. Yesterday, workers turned a Greenwich Village crosswalk into a rainbow ahead of Sunday's parade. In our HealthWatch today, a possible breakthrough in treatments for diabetes. A new study has found a new approach to controlling type 1 diabetes. Researchers say adults with long-standing type 1 diabetes had it reversed 3 years after they were given 2 shots of the tuberculosis vaccine known as BCG. Patients had their blood sugar stabilized and have remained stable for up to 8 years so far.
What it seems to show is that the body's way that it processes glucose is altered in with repeated administration of this vaccine.
Researchers are now running a larger study of the vaccine. If the results are confirmed, it would lead to a major change in diabetes treatment. Smart home technology, high-tech cameras, and security devices taking center stage at this year's Consumer Electronics Week here in New York. CBS 2's Kenneth Craig got a look at the latest innovations.
We're able to get a great shot. Look at the camera. Come on, you're used to that, right?
This selfie-snapping drone fits in the palm of your hand and also records video. A pocket-sized camera weighing less than 3 ounces.
So I can really control it. So now watch it with my phone. I'm going to go right. I'm going to go left. I'm going to go back.
The Air Selfie 2 is making its debut at this year's Consumer Electronics Week, alongside the newest high-tech gadgets. And when it comes to selfies,
1, 2, 3.
81-year-old Polaroid is banking on the idea what's old is new again, with its latest instant camera, the Mint.
People are taking so many pictures on their smartphones now, but people want printed photos.
Cameras are not just capturing memories. Companies like Remo Plus are deploying the technology to keep you and your home safe. This over-the-door camera is wire-free and requires virtually no installation.
All you have to do is take it out of the box, pop in some 3D batteries, hang it over the door, and there you have it.
From your home to your kids, this simplified smartphone for young children allows parents to listen in.
You can send the phone a text message, and then 30 seconds later the phone will call you back without activating the screen, and you can hear what's going on around the children.
It also doubles as a GPS tracking device to help parents keep track of their kids.
Kenneth Craig, CBS 2 News.
And speaking of technology, Orlando International Airport today became the first airport in the nation to use face scans on all international flights. Using facial recognition technology, travelers no longer need boarding passes, passports, or other ID. High-resolution cameras snap their pictures, then it's checked against information stored in a government database. Verification takes about as long as a Google search, so obviously that is instantaneous. Now let's get over to John in the Weather Center with your forecast. Johnny?
Yeah, but then when they do a Google search on us, sometimes they don't like what they find.
It's a good point.
All right, so we've got a nice quiet day today. If you're traveling by air, you're in great shape. 71 in the city. Notice these numbers are cooler, and we ultimately see a cooler day today. Just want to give you the heads up. Late shower possible south and west this afternoon. Odds are low. It's overnight tonight when that rain chance returns. Some of that rain early Saturday will be heavy. There's a break. Then there's another round Saturday night into Sunday. Sunday, the warm air breaks through, so it's hot and humid, so could see a pop-up storm. But of your 2 weekend days, I know you don't want to hear this. Right now, Saturday looks a little busier, so I'm going to run out before Wragge throws anything at me.
Busy is not a word I want to hear right now when it comes to Saturday. All right, John, thanks so much. Don't be surprised if you hear some barking around the office. Today has been designated Take Your Dog to Work Day, but some U.S. companies celebrate pets every day. The tech company Fueled is one of a growing number of companies allowing pets in the office all the time. Research shows that dogs in the office can lower stress levels in workers and actually lead to increased productivity.
It just does so much for me, gives me so much flexibility.
I think once in a while it's like this dog's barking at some other dog or growling at the UPS delivery guy, but nothing really serious ever happened.
No comment from the UPS delivery guy. A new survey found that 44% of Americans would consider a career move for a pet-friendly workplace. Okay, that's your CBS 2 News update for now. Please enjoy your weekend, and thanks for joining us.